State leads by 2. Can they do what the men's team has done, led by that man Marcus Fizer, advancing to the Sweet 16, winning yesterday against Auburn in Minneapolis. They will play against UCLA next weekend in Auburn Hills, Michigan.
And isn't it great that Marcus Fizer is here in the crowd with these over 13,000 people? Down at the Big 12 tournament, both the men's and women's teams went and watched each other play in the tournament as well.
Only 2 timeouts remain here in the contest for Illinois, but already double bonus situation for the Fighting Illini. 10 fouls on Iowa State. Catchings throws it away.
Boy, they were looking to get the back screen for Christy Faulkner on the offside. They had her set up, but the pass just not on target.
Now, Illinois led by 11 with just over 16 minutes left. Since that point, the Cyclones have outscored the Fighting Illini 27-14. Many of those points coming from three-point land. Catchings in the game with 3 personals. 7 to shoot. Nice pass. Nice pass.
What a great look by Gahan. Drove in, drew the defenders, didn't force it up in traffic. Instead, found Francis wide open under the basket.
Curtin catching, leans in, and the foul called against Angie Welly, and now Angie Welly has 4.
Wilson playing great defense down on Welly, trying to not allow them to get the basketball inside. Welly working from side to side. They weren't able to get it to Welly. That's when Gahan penetrated in and got the pass to Francis. But Wilson is playing some very good defense down on the block.
Welly will sit down.
But Illinois so smart. Taja Catchings realizing that Iowa State has a 4-point lead. The crowd's getting into it. Illinois goes to Catchings on the block. She gets the crowd to quiet down by going to the line.
No hand check call. Will go against 22. Christy Faulkner, her first.
Faulkner trying to play position defense on Wilson. Wilson has been very aggressive driving to the basket throughout the game. Faulkner just needs to give a little bit of a cushion, realizing Wilson's going to drive.
Brenda, that's the last foul that Illinois has to give. 1-and-1 situation here on in at the minimum. Last touch by Iowa State. Wilson didn't like the call. Faulkner does.
Well, Illinois just playing such tough pressure defense. They've done that a couple of times. They forced a 5-second call earlier in the game. That time they forced the turnover on the inbound.
Teresa Grants told us this morning this is the best physically conditioned team that she has had in her 5 years in Champaign. Offensive rebound and the putback by Taja Catchings.
Without Angie Welly in the center of that zone, they're smaller, Iowa State is, and Catchings just dove in there to get rebound position.
There's a lot of stuff happening underneath the basket in the painted area.
That time Desiree Francis was down on the block, but on the other end, Catchings getting in position inside Megan Taylor, goes up so quickly, nobody there to contest the shot. Catchings just such a force on the boards. 9 rebounds already.
Desiree Francis misses the top half of the 1-and-1. Glauser picked up the personal. That is her second. Faulkner has it. Illinois in blue. Iowa State in white. 1-point game. Faulkner with a shot fake. Here is Curtin. Kylie Martin. Nice bounce pass in. Little inside outside. Faulkner has it. 9 to shoot now for Illinois. Curtin takes it herself. Tough shot, and they wave it off. They wave the shot off. The foul underneath.
Wow, that was a great drive to the basket. Curtin splitting the 2 defenders on top of the zone. Wow. That's a tough call.
It sure is. Francis, in the estimation of the officials, just had those feet set. So an offensive foul against Allison Curtin, her 3rd. Rimming in, Stacy Freeze. Taja Catchings the other way. 3-point game. Glauser from 18. Rebound by the Cyclones.
Illinois usually so patient. That time with a real quick shot against that zone defense.
Iowa State's largest lead has been 3 points, the one that they hold presently. Freeze. Battling. Megan Taylor. Back up and in. Tracy Gahan.
Great second effort by Gahan, able to get the rebound, go up strong.
Once again, Teresa Grentz needs a timeout.
Trying to keep this team focused, not allow them to break down the defense. Blauser with a great block, but Tracy Gahan with some great second effort, controls, gathers herself, and goes up strong. Tracy Gahan, only a sophomore on this team. Sometimes that seems impossible with the experience of this Iowa State squad, but she does a lot in a lot of quiet ways for this Iowa State squad as a sophomore.
Now everybody returned from the team that 1 year ago advanced to the Elite Eight, beating top-seeded UConn, losing to Georgia in the regional final, and Iowa State nearing double digits in three-point shooting as far as those made here this evening. 10 or more threes they made in 15 games this year, including 15 in their opening round victory against St. Francis.
And if Illinois can't hit the three-pointer, they need to go inside and get the shots where they were getting them earlier, get it to Catchings and Blauser.
Catchings in traffic, cannot finish. Iowa State hit just 2 three-point field goals in the first half of play. Their largest lead stands presently at 5.
They tried a little screener action there for Stacey Freeze, but Curtin got through it quickly.
He was forced out by Allison Curtin. Allison Curtin now has 4.
Foul trouble becoming a major factor here down the line. Stacey Freeze so smart, knowing the foul situation, driving hard. She wasn't going to score. She was just going to look to pass, but Curtin gets caught with the bump on the drive and really should have just let her go because she didn't have any kind of angle to shoot the ball at all.
Well, what a matchup it would be in the next round if Iowa State advances with Helen Darling, the great point guard from Penn State, set for Stacey Freeze, one of the finest point guards in the nation.
Penn State with a terrific inside-outside attack as well.
You are watching NCAA Productions coverage of the 2000 Division I Women's Basketball Championship. 71-64. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remains in this second round matchup in the Midwest region. And what a job this head coach, who came from 7 years at Toledo, Bill Fenley, has done engineering one of college basketball's most incredible turnarounds.
The turnaround in games 1 and the attendance here going from 644 before he gets here to over 10,000, being 4th in the country this year. Just an amazing turnaround with this Iowa State program.
Teresa Grentz, after her 19 seasons at Rutgers, has had the same effect in Champaign. We welcome our national audience back to Ames, Iowa, as the Cyclones of Iowa State lead in this basketball game 71-64. They have done it from beyond 19-9 here in the second half. Mike Goldberg, Brenda Van Langen. Here's how they've done it. And one again. Lindsey Wilson, her first 3 of the second half.
All 5 Iowa State players were standing outside the three-point arc. Megan Taylor drives in, draws the defense, and kicks out to Wilson.
Catchings, Taja, playing with 4 personal fouls. And Illinois struggling to get an easy look at the basket. They will go to the line here. Desiree Francis picking up her 3rd personal.
Well, throughout this game, Illinois has been so impressive against the 2-3 matchup zone of Iowa State, being patient, moving the ball, getting it inside. Blauser has 11 points in this game, but they've just gone through this stretch where they've allowed these three-pointers, Iowa State's bread and butter, and that's what allowed Iowa State to get back in this game and gain control.
The winner of this contest gets Penn State next weekend in the Sweet 16. Catchings defensively on Lindsey Wilson. Illinois looking for the first time in school history to win an NCAA game on an opponent's floor.
Illinois needs to make something happen here, trap the basketball, get a steal, but not commit a foul.
As they do right there, both teams are in the bonus.
And if they wanted to commit the foul earlier in the shot clock maybe, but they had already allowed Iowa State to wind the shot clock down to 10 seconds. They were scrambling, they were doing well, but got the foul when Gahan drove to the basket. During the season, Iowa State, an excellent free throw shooting team at 73%.
Out comes Desiree Francis, in comes Angie Welly.
And Angie Welly has 4 fouls for Iowa State that has been so explosive on offense inside.
This has been an absolutely wonderful evening in Ames, Iowa. Women's college basketball at its finest, and we're just in the second round. Martin, she wants it and gets it. Kylie Martin, a 2-point field goal, a foot on the line, so Martin pulls Illinois back to within 8 points.
Kylie Martin has stepped up for Illinois. She had 9 points in the first half, 9 here in the second, but Illinois has to get a stop. They need the basketball back.
Pardon me, 75-68. 1 minute, 8 seconds remains.
Iowa State able to take a lot of time off the clock with this possession.
Stacey Freeze, can she finish? Yes. Huge bucket for the Cyclones.
What poise and maturity by the senior. Stacey Freeze kept her dribble alive, was able to drive, milk the shot clock, and still get the bucket.
Martin, baseline. Glauser over the back.
Well, this has been an incredibly hard-fought battle. It's Stacey Freeze, the senior, the All-American, able to penetrate, a little hesitation move, no defense there to come over. Glauser a little bit slow, and Freeze able to get it up and in off the glass.
Bill Fenley has called timeout, wants to make sure his team knows what to do to close out this game in the final 45.8 seconds. Megan Taylor with 10 points tonight for Iowa State. Glauser has played well, the senior. And this senior class has been the most successful class in Illinois history, with the 2 Sweet 16s in '97 and '98 making it to the NCAA tournament every year. In fact, Taja Catchings, the first player in Illinois women's history to play in the NCAA tournament all 4 seasons, because keep in mind, Kylie Martin and Susan Glauser transferred after their sophomore years from Rutgers.
And Illinois came in with a great game plan tonight, really quieted the Hilton Coliseum crowd here early. They had Iowa State on the ropes for the first 30 minutes of the ball game, and then Iowa State came through with all their 3-pointers. Desiree Francis made all the difference in that big stretch for Iowa State.
Taylor with another double-double, her 3rd of the season. Stacey Freeze, she could not find her shot in the first half. She has been a force here in the second, doing everything else. They got to come out and foul her. Shavonna Hunter does.
Disappointment on the Illinois bench. They have had to play with not a lot of depth because Melissa Parker, their point guard, went out with concussion syndrome in mid-season. Cindy Dallas never even got to play the season because of a 3rd ACL tear. This would have been an even better Illinois squad had those players been able to stick around, but they've had a great season and had just a tremendous effort here at Iowa State tonight.
It will be in the Sweet 16. Stacey Freeze against Helen Darling. Sue Bird, one of the great point guards from the UConn Huskies. Faulkner, shot is long. Welly gets it. Catchings. Her career 14 seconds from over for Illinois. If she touches Wilson, the night is officially over for Taja Catchings, but it is going to be irregardless. Iowa State has advanced to the Sweet 16. They took advantage of the home court advantage. And so both the men's and women's teams that play their home games here in Ames, Iowa, have moved on in the 2000 NCAA tournament. Marcus Fizer, a force on the men's side. Angie Welly, a force on the women's side here tonight for the Cyclones. 19 points for Angie Welly. Bill Fenley is with my partner, Brenda Van Langen.
What an incredible game, Bill. They had such a great game plan. They really took you out of the ball game early. Then Desiree Francis came through big with those three-pointers.
Yeah, she did. They played very well. And obviously it was a great environment for a game, a great NCAA game. Our kids hung around. I think we were the nervous one the first half, Brenda, but we found some plays. Des hit some shots. We all loosened up. And I thought guarded them a lot better last 10 minutes.
And how big of a factor was this crowd? Another record-setting crowd.
Brenda, I don't think there's any doubt that that was the difference in the game. They've been with us for the beginning. We wanted to get two teams in the Sweet 16, and now both us and the men are in.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Bill. Good luck. And we also have Desiree Francis. Desiree, you came through so big. Everybody was struggling offensively, and you came through and hit those three-pointers in a row. What did you think you had to do for this squad?
Well, I thought offensively I need to step it up. At the very first start of the game, I took 2 shots, and they were totally off, and I was kind of down on myself. You know, and Coach Harris pulled me aside, and she was like, you cannot give up now. We need you in this game. And I just thought about, you know, my team and quit thinking about myself, actually. And I just came out focused, and I was ready to play the second half.
Well, you did a tremendous job, and defensively, they did a good job, but you still found a way to get it open. Your rebounds were excellent as well. What do you think about the opportunity to go back to Kansas City and now play in the Midwest Regional?
Well, I think it's a wonderful experience for us. The fact that we just came from there last week, and we kind of get a feel ready for the floor, and we know our fans are awesome, and they'll be there. So it's kind of like, as they say, Hilton South, they'll be there. It's awesome to see all these people out here, and I know for sure Kansas City is not too far to go, and there'll be nobody in Ames. I think everybody will be down there for that game.
I think that's right. Congratulations, Desiree. Back to you, Mike.
Now, Brenda, that team was dominant in the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Desiree Francis with 18 points. Kansas City, here we come. You're watching NCAA Productions coverage of the Women's Basketball Championship.